I wanted it bad. The way the game was going. The last thing I wanted to do was not finish what I started, and it's obviously disappointing. I felt so great all game, felt so great in the ninth. Wanted the ball, and I gave it everything I had.
Could you feel the electricity out there? I mean, the fans even wanted you to come back. They were chanting your name.
Absolutely. It was hard for me to leave, and you get in a situation like that. We're up 2 runs and kind of cruising through the game. One pitch here, and it's a different ball game. But they were awesome. They've been awesome all year. It was a blast to be out there. I had so much fun tonight. It was incredible. The energy was incredible, but unfortunately, I just couldn't finish what I started.
Matt, if you had to do it over,
just as strong coming out for the night?
Yeah, I felt normal. Same as I did in the eighth, same as I did in the first inning, and it's one of those things where a team like that just kind of puts the ball in play. I felt like I made a good pitch, 3-2, and Kane let off with the walk, and it's just one of those things that this team. That we're playing against obviously showed a lot and put the ball in play, and unfortunately I just couldn't get it done.
If you had to do it all over, would you ask for that ball again in the ninth?
I would ask for the ball every time. I think going into the ninth, I felt great. I felt like my mechanics, everything was right where I wanted it to be, and as a competitor and as a person, I always want the ball, and that's what I've said all year long. In this situation, I wanted the ball, and unfortunately, it just didn't work out.
Does it make it even more frustrating realizing that last night you guys had late lead, tonight you had a late lead? You actually could have gone back to Kansas City up 3-2.
Yeah, no, I think obviously in any situation like that, you obviously want to do everything you can to win the game, and I poured my heart out. I gave everything I had, and unfortunately tonight it just wasn't quite good enough.
Matt, did you have to convince him? Did you have to convince Terry and Dan to put you back in there in the night?
Yeah, I mean, you get into such a situation like that, you don't want to give up the ball, and as a competitor, any chance you get to go back out there and try and get us back to winning baseball, it's everything any guy would ever ask for. So for me, obviously. I gave it everything I had, and I wanted the ball.
When you take a step back and look at the entire season, first season back to Tommy John surgery, even though how it ended like this, you're pretty pleased overall? I think it's going to take a couple days, but obviously it's a tough loss for all of us, and I think looking back, it's going to take a couple days to kind of go over everything, but this team's been awesome to play with, and it's all been such an honor.
If your manager takes the heat here for the decision to allow you to continue, do you think that's fair?
I think there's a lot of fingers you can point at, but I wanted the ball, and in that situation I did everything I could to go back out there, and in a perfect world it would have been a lot different, but that's kind of how it played out. I wanted the ball. He obviously wanted to go to Familia there, but the way the game was going and the way I felt like I wanted to control the game and go back out there for the ninth.
Did you think it was going to be a hard sell to Terry, and was it a hard sell to Terry to be able to convince him?
There's a lot of different things that were going on. I think I've made my clear point that I wanted to go back out, and like I said, one pitch here or fly ball or different situation, we're out of that situation, and the game's different. But for me, I told both him and Dan that I wanted the ball, and unfortunately I just couldn't get it done.
What does this experience do for you guys as a team going forward?
It's unbelievable. I think the confidence that we have going into the off season. Obviously it's going to be a short one, but I think with the experience that we have, the guys that we have coming back, everybody's I know I am for sure gearing up for next year, and excited to return with these guys.
Matt, were you surprised you felt as good as you did, considering 208 innings coming in, tough performance game one?
I think in a game like this, it's kind of hard not to get your adrenaline pumping, and I think every single one of us here was doing everything we could to win this game and try and get things back to Kansas City. And I wasn't going to let the innings limit or tempo of how the season's been played out with all that stuff get in the way. So for me, it was easy to go back out there inning after inning.
Matt, what will be your lasting impression of the Royals?
Oh, that was a good team. Obviously, from game one, they tremendous, putting the ball in play, fouling good pitches off, and they were just a solid team. And unfortunately, like I said, a couple pitches here, a couple pitches there, and we're back in Kansas City. But they were a very tough team.
Did proving that you wanted the ball, with all the public issue that there's been, play any part in wanting to go back out for the ninth?
Not at all. I wanted the ball because I felt great. I felt like I could go out there and get the last 3 outs. And if I was tired at that moment, I would obviously say something different. But I felt good. I felt like I was controlling the game pretty well and wanted to go back out.
What was your lasting impression of this season?
Like I said, I think we'll all think about that at a later date. But obviously tonight we're disappointed in the game, and it's going to take a couple days.